Can everyone hear me now? Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Where was I? Let's do backtracking. Yes. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Collector's Corner. And it's a special day today. Of course, Dale at Coin World UK, we all wish him a happy birthday today. He's out with family, and if he manages to get back home to join us, he will. If not, he's going to just have a good old time. There's nothing more precious than family. So enjoy and happy birthday, brother. And it's also a special day here in Canada. Today is part of the Victoria Day weekend, and Victoria Day, which was initiated by the province of Canada in 1858, is now, I guess they like the idea of combining it with the weekend. So we get a nice long weekend. Nothing like a nice long weekend, even though it's a bit smoky out here in Alberta. We got a heck of a lot of fires going on. But so today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Queen Victoria and some of the coinage that came out during her reign. Hi, Drunken Chef Barbecue. Nice to see you. And yeah, we don't need a barbecue here. You can't start a fire. Well, there's enough fires going on. You just hold your flank steak out the front door and you get it nicely smoked. But so you do too. Oh, that's too much. Yes, Queen Victoria. This young lady here. We're going to be talking a little bit about her. And I'll tell you, Queen Victoria was the Queen of Great Britain and Ireland from 1837 to 1901, and she was Empress of India from 1876 to 1901. This young lady was born in London, England on the 24th of May, 1819, and died on the Isle of Wight, England, January 22nd, 1901. She was the only child of Princess Victoria of Saxe-Coburg and of Edward, Duke of Kent, the fourth son of King George III. Victoria's father died when she was a baby, and she was brought up by a very strict mother and by her governess, Baroness Lazen. Now, Victoria became queen on the 20th of June, 1837, on the death of her uncle, King William IV. She had just turned 18, as she said very, very quietly. She said, "I am very young," she wrote in the journal that she began at the age of 13, and she was famous for her journal. "But I am sure that I very few have more real desire to do what is right and fit." So, yeah, okay, that's Queen Victoria right from the beginning. She was determined to do the right thing. She was not only beautiful, but had a tendency towards plumpness. But she had a remarkable speaking voice and a hearty laugh. And she moved with regal grace despite her short stature. I think she was shorter than my mother, and she was pretty short. Her coronation in 1838 began the longest reign of any English monarch at that time up until Queen Elizabeth II. Now, her early reign, Victoria was advised in her first years as queen by Viscount Melbourne, the Whig prime minister. She became devoted to him, and in 1839, the prospect of a change of ministry put her into a real state of dreadful grief. In the so-called bedchamber crisis, she prevented Melbourne's conservative rival, Sir Robert Peel, from succeeding him as prime minister. She refused to let Peel replace her ladies of the bedchamber who held her own Whig sympathies with the wives and daughters of conservative politicians, because such a move would have indicated that she was supporting a new government. It's crazy to think how much it was tied into politics, the monarchy back then. Of course, the division between The monarchy and the parliament is quite a bit different now. Now, she married on the 14th of, on the 10th of February in 1840 to Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg, her intelligent and serious-minded first cousin. There we go, first cousins. My goodness. And so it's starting, you wonder why they had so many problems with blood disorders and so much more. Of course, they did have a very, very happy marriage. They loved each other immensely. Prince Albert, of course, he was famous for having brought into the Great Britain, actually across the world, the tradition of a Christmas tree, which is kind of cool. They also emphasized that both Victoria and Albert became the living symbols of moral integrity. Now, unfortunately, even though they had quite a few children, Albert actually died relatively early, and it was pretty tough on her. He died in 1861 of typhoid fever, and Queen Victoria never really managed to get over it. In fact, she wore black throughout her whole reign. Now, eventually, Victoria gradually emerged from her deep mourning, and during her second ministry of the under Benjamin Disraeli from 1874 to 1880, she called him Dizzy, succeeded in persuading her to return to public life. Victoria was a staunch advocate of Disraeli's policy of British overseas expansion. In 1876, Disraeli sponsored a bill in Parliament proclaiming her Empress of India. However, Victoria had little use for the opposition leader William Everett Gladstone, who treated her stiffly and with great awe. She was irritated by his liberal policies in domestic and foreign affairs. Now, in her last years, when Victoria returned to public life, she relinquished most of her political authority to her ministers. Although her influence in affairs of state declined, she gained preeminence as the Dowager Monarch of Europe. When she died in 1901, she was mourned as an individual and as the symbol of an era. And of course, Victoria was succeeded by her son, Edward the Seventh. So there you go. That's a little bit of stuff about Queen Victoria. We're celebrating Victoria Day here in Canada. And I thought, oh my goodness, why not take a gander at some of the coinage that came out during the reign of Queen Victoria, which is very, very interesting in itself. And I'm going to pop out one of my favorites. This is actually one of Canada's earlier pieces. It was actually done before Confederation. It was actually done in 1858. Let's see if we can get her up there. There we go. That is an 1858 20-cent piece. Silver. There's only 730,392 of these actually made. And so it's one of the more unusual ones. That's actually not a bad example of one there. There. Now, I've let off some steam, thrown off. I'll hit some more Queen Victoria coinage, but I invite anybody that would like to come up and chit chat, also to put your links in the chat. Yeah, they are nice coins, Dale. They truly are. Oh my goodness, look at this. BC Treasure Trails is here. Mayor Videos. Oh, yeah. You know what? It's kind of weird. I got up and I looked and I saw that it rained. And then I realized the rain may have dampened the soil, but the air is still filled with smoke. It was like the weirdest thing ever, because typically you get a nice rain shower and you get that nice clean air afterwards. And it dampened the ground, which I'm glad in my area. I don't know about you, Marlon, but here, oh my goodness. It's absolutely horrid. So I said, okay, that's one more day. I am clamoring to get out, and I'm actually coercing my. In fact, today would have been a great day for my son Andrew and I to get out and do some metal detecting. I've got another site in mind I want to try out. It's a little bit more, hopefully, a little bit better than the one that you and I had done. Because I want to find some real cool treasures. Be kind of neat. So, on this Victoria Day, what's everybody doing today? Yeah, right. Tony did a spit test and he's related to the Queen. Yeah, I did. I've been doing a lot of research. Um, uh, actually, oh, it's fun with Dirt's in the house. Hey, I did some family research myself there this last couple week and a half or so, and I discovered an ancestor to be a fifth great grandfather beyond my dad's side, but through my grandmother's family. So it's starting to veer off a little bit, but uh, a Navy captain, which I knew there was sea in our veins. Coining around, how you doing there, buddy? Nice to see Tupac in. But anyway, the discovery I made was Captain Edward Zealand, hailed from York, which is now Toronto, Ontario. Apparently, he served under Admiral Nelson. He was quite a prominent seafarer. He actually did a lot of traversing the Great Lakes. And let's see if we get that one in there pretty good. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whee. Okay. That one there is my goodness. I had it. It's an 1878. No, it's an 1872. H. H being heat and mint. Oh, you're young and crazy, Marlon, getting out in this kind of weather. But you know what? I do it too, but my lungs just couldn't handle it. Okay, this is an 1874 H. So again, heat and mint. Anybody's got any others? Oh, you're more than welcome to come up and join me. This one's got a fair amount of wear on it, though. The ghostly figures. Yeah, I actually had to get back onto my puffer. It was just getting way too bad out there. Okay, that 1874 I just showed you had a some mintage on that one. 1874. It is, there you are. 1,600,000 on that one. So it had a little bit more than that 1858. That was quite low. Let's see. You get an 1883 H. 1883 H. Oh, 960,000 on this one. an oldie but a goodie. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Douglas, 1874 Canadian dime in the same spot he found in 1901 Barber half dollar. That is so cool. Yeah, for many of you that are into collecting or gotten into collecting coins, uh, I'd recommend, even though it's nice to find some of the older pieces, especially Doug examples, if they're silver, typically are in pretty good shape. But if you are collecting, work backwards. Get the newer stuff first. Work your way backwards, because when you start getting into the older stuff, you start getting into a lot of key dates and things like that. Man, oh man, it really starts getting expensive. Like I have, no, I'm showing the Victoria coins right now. This is very small. I collect all of the coins I dig into my troll hoard. Troll hoard? Troll hoard. That's an interesting name. Okay. 1858 silver dime. You can see that it's quite small. And that's sterling silver, these ones. 925, if those that aren't familiar with that. And that mentions extremely low too. I believe it's just over 900,000 on that one. Take a look on here. 58. Yeah, no, 1,216,000 on that dime. And just like we saw with Queen Elizabeth's effigies, they changed over time. They some of them call them young heads and old heads. Others old effigy, new effigies. They have different designs in the hair. You have to pretty well bring out your book and check them out. Oh my goodness. I just lost the date on that one. What was that? 18. Hello. Hello. Where'd I put you? There you are. Okay, I think that's 1896. No, 1890. 1898. Okay, 1898. This is getting close to the end of her reign. And let's switch over to my. I wonder if I could do that with mine. Let's see if that's. I'm gonna check and see if that's working. Is that attached? Yeah. No, there's not. Not circulation or possibly. You know what? I'll have to check with Dale. I know in Canada we don't have any. But I've never seen anything with Prince Philip on it other than probably commemoratives of some sort, but I cannot recall that. Okay. Don't see me. I'm still here. I'm just setting up the OBS to bring up so you can see these coins a little better because it's just not showing up the way it should. There it is. Hello there. All right. As you can see, this one is fairly well worn, but these are fun to get into your collection. Yeah, it's 1898, and it doesn't look like this one was done in Heaton. No H. And that there. Okay, let's take a look at some. We'll take a look at some dime or some 1 cents. The 1 cent ones are fairly good. Okay. Of course, here you're looking at the 1858. These were all done in the UK, even though eventually they finally did open up the mint in Ottawa, Ontario. And this particular one, of course, was pre-Confederation. And it's interesting to note that the 1 cent pieces were made in 1858, 1859, and then there was a large gap until 1876. Now, in 1876, which is now Canada is now in Confederation, the coinage was still being made in the United Kingdom. Again, the H denotes the Heaton Mint. Yeah, I eventually managed to get it. Yeah. And again, I like looking at the fact we've got different hairstyles. Let's take a look at the hairstyles. Now, this is Queen Victoria in 1876. And remember, she lost Albert in 1861. So let's take a look at one of the other ones, 1859. This is 2 years before losing Albert. Let's see what she. Okay. As you can see, okay, this is before she lost her husband. And she's got a young effigy on there. Yeah. Using the scope makes all the difference in the world, Marlon. So, yeah, you find coins like this when you're metal detecting, and you can do an Irish jig. Unfortunately, with the ones that are copper or anything that's non-silver or gold tends to end up being very slick. If you're, unless of course they happen to be in an extremely dry environment. Okay, let's take a look at her now. Now, getting closer to the end of her reign, 1899. One of the things that you're starting to notice that in her effigy, she's becoming a little more plump. She is a little, quite a bit older now, and the coinage is now being produced in Canada. And let's see. Okay, let's get into 1900. Actually, let's slip right over to 1901, the last year of her reign. That one got a little bit of a chunk on the side of the cheek. Again, considering the age. And they didn't want to make the effigies too unflattering, but she was starting to look her age by the time she hit the year that she passed. But yeah, that's Queen Victoria. I mean, so of course, 1902, her son took over. I believe he went by Bertie. Wasn't it? Was he called Bertie? I can't remember now. No, Edward. Edward. 1902. We'll just quick glance at Edward's 1 cent. I know he was quite the playboy. He liked his ladies, this guy. Yeah, I know. That's the only. Even though finding them while metal detecting is a lot of fun. It's actually a real thrill when you can find some that are in good shape and you can actually read the dates. But most of the like I say, most of the copper and brass ones, they're pretty wore down. But I've seen some good ones though. Just I've never found them. Okay. Now I get to. There we go. So that 1901 was actually they made over 4,100,000 of the 1901 1 cent coins. Quite a few actually. Wow. That is impressive. Okay. There we go. And the old skipper's back on board. Just don't hit the date with your digger. Yeah, no kidding. But unfortunately, you know what? It's not just when you're digging the coins out, but you also have the issues with farm implements. If you happen to be out in the countryside, they're notorious for chewing things up. Construction equipment, if you got houses that tore down, uh, it's pretty challenging to find some that are in good shape. But when you do find the good ones, wow, that's pretty awesome. I think you mean Dirty Birdie. But yeah, he was quite the and apparently Camilla's grandmother was actually one of his flings. Chewed on by squirrels. Yeah, I know. So, guys, it's just me, and I'm just sitting back here. I've shared with you my little bit about Victoria Day. How about you telling me what you're doing on those that celebrate it? What are you doing for Victoria Day today? Yeah, I'm glad you're getting better too, kid of mine. Yeah, I actually, speaking of getting better, I just, good news on my side is I switched family doctors, and here in Canada, it's quite a challenge. If you don't have a family doctor, it's tough getting one. So I managed to go from a doctor that took 2 and 3 months to go see a family doctor to one that will see me within a week, sometimes even sooner if I want to put up with being a walk-in. And uh, I'm supposed to be getting a hip replacement, and apparently this guy is getting me into a hip specialist much quicker than the last doctor. So that's good news for me because I want to get out and get digging without having to rely on my kids or Marlon to do the bloody digging for me. So I'd also like to be able to get out and do some nice walks with my dog, who is getting extremely fat. He's starting to match me. Poor bugger. Nick Nick Riviera. That sounds like a stripper's name. What the heck is that? I wanted to stick around for the duck race, but I fell asleep. My new doctor gave me some meds that work really good. And so I'm catching up on my snoozies, and that's something that I am thoroughly enjoying. But sometimes it's inconvenient because you fall asleep when you don't want to fall asleep, and you're awake when you don't want to be awake. Oh, okay. I don't want. I've watched 2 or 3 episodes of The Simpsons, but I don't know all the characters. Oh, and I'm on pins and needles. One thing that is good that's happening is that I went on the Silver Picker Squad Discord and did a $200 grab bag swap. I didn't buy the grab bag. It's 200 US. You accumulate $200 US value of coins and collectibles, and you ship them to. It's kind of like I like this, a secret Santa. You don't know they draw the names from a hat, and you send your $200 worth of collectibles to a person that you have no clue who they are, even though you do try to find out a little bit about them so they don't end up with stuff they don't collect. And someone else is picked to send you a $200. And I have had some great grab bags from this, way better than eBay could ever do. I mean, when I did the $100 grab bags, I got $100 grab bag that had one coin that was worth $450 by itself. Not to mention all the other little odds and sods that are in there. We also have to make sure that there's at least some silver in the grab bag. We have to make sure there's a unique item. Could be something goofy, something collectible. I've put some really strange stuff. Once in a while, I may even booby trap it with some glitter. We have fun with this stuff, and it's if you're not buying coins, then this is a great way to get rid of things that you don't necessarily need or want anymore, or you've got surplus of, and not to send them junk, but send them send them items that they would enjoy. So the last guy I sent, geez, he must have had 5 or 6 pieces of silver, including 3 1-ounce silver coins. I think what did I send him? 2 Maple Leafs and a Britannia, as well as a mint coin for aircraft silver, and came in a clamshell. It was quite nice. So you can add things to these bags to make them more interesting. Yeah, I know. Yeah, back in the day when we were keeping in touch by Morse code, it was even worse. And letters, weeks, even months before you get the stuff. And ham radio came in handy, but not everybody had access to a ham radio set. And if you were crazy enough to make a phone call, it cost you a fortune to phone outside of the country. Today, with the internet, this is fantastic. We're talking combining. Well, I don't know what to compare it to. I mean, we can actually talk to each other across the planet like we're in each other's living rooms, and I love it. It's I've made friends and made contact with family I hadn't seen in years. Just wonderful. What? Well, you know what? They do try to keep a handle on it, kin of mine. I mean, they don't kid around. They make sure there's no trolls. That people are polite. Um, I don't know. It's just a matter that you know what, you associate with those that make you feel good. If you do feel stressed out, well then you don't have to do it. That's the joy of this. But I like the group and coining around. They're a bit of a wacky group, especially William, and uh, it's an interesting concept they have with the way they're running these races, where everybody's donating gifts. I've never seen that's a first. I don't think any other channel does it, and it's kind of nice because everybody is donating and making it a really exciting event. And then they throw in the auctions and stuff. Yeah, you know what? The chat is very fast. The chat is very, very fast. And they try, I know they try to keep up with it, but when the chat is moving around like this, it's hard for them, especially those that are on panel, to try to keep up with it all. I think they do pretty good considering. I mean, well, I can understand why you come to my channel then, because we're slow. I'm very slow. And then, of course, we can sit back as soon as Dale shows up. We can sit back and enjoy his chatter. Lord knows what he'll come up with next. But yeah, I'm kind of in limbo right now until this grab bag shows up, because I'm really looking forward to seeing if I got anything I could add to my, especially my U.S. collection. My American collection is actually pretty good. It's, you know, it's, I don't have anything extremely valuable, but I do have a nice collection of the 1 cent coins. I still want that 1909 SVDB, that one I can read, because Jason, I think, was fooling me on that one, because there's no way that you could tell whether that was a VDB. It was just too worn. But yeah, there's lots of slower channels. I can sit back and try not to make you fall asleep. I do like, I tend to focus on numismatic knowledge and history related to the coins. I haven't been doing it as much as I should be. Again, I was laid low for a little while there, but I'm working on it. And then, of course, as they say, you shouldn't have all your stuff in one pot. You should branch out and do other things too. And that's why I've got some of the other channels going, including our fun dining in Alberta. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, that duck race is just cool. It's just a lot of fun to do. We're trying to come up with something with ours, but you know, the battle chat was fun, but it took over. And a lot of people were coming to it, not realizing that Dale was a coin channel, and all they're doing is they want to get into the battleship game. There's good old Papa G. Always nice to see him on. Well, that's the whole thing. You know, you're either growing or disintegrating. You're never staying the same, especially when it comes to YouTubing. If you have a channel, you want it to grow, you better, first off, you better have interesting content, and continually work to build the channel, because the moment it stagnates, then you end up with a dead channel, and it slowly but surely it'll fade away. I mean, I started my channel in 2011. And for a lot of you guys out there, you're like, holy cow, I didn't do anything with it. Not a thing. So where did it go? Well, if I worked with it when I first got online, I'd probably have a fairly good sized channel by now. But when the pandemic came along, we suddenly went, oh, we need to reach out and find somebody. And we found each other. And now we've made contacts across the planet, and thank heavens we've been able to do this, because even now I'm not as ambulatory as I used to be. I basically, as someone that's sedentary, I tend to try to reach out in whatever means I can to actually speak to human beings, because it's tough. Even on my winter job, that's a sit down job. You know, that's a sit down job, right? Yes, and don't get into it. Well, don't you jump down chimneys? No. I would have to discuss how that's actually done, but I don't think I have to explain it. But when I'm in the mall, thousands and thousands come to see me, and I'm not having to stand up too much. Thank goodness. Evil arch conservative is in the house. Yeah, I have. I went out with Marlon, and I was fully intending to do it over the Victoria Day weekend, but uh, the smoke. I can't handle the breathing. So we're all kind of stuck inside until it clears up a little bit. Except for some of those crazies like Marlon that actually got out and did it. Yes, I know Marlon. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. Yeah, I really look forward to getting out with Marlon. Having some, it makes all the difference in the world when you actually get out with somebody else. Even though it is nice, it's relaxing when if you're on your own. But son of a gun, having someone there to share the excitement with and help you out because you're all gimped up, that makes a lot of difference. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? We had a heavy rainstorm here in West Edmonton last night and this morning. And it was great to come out. Everything was watered down because we want the soil as damp as we can get it. But the smoke has risen so high that we've got no, it's like a perpetual fog when you look up. It's light, but it's kind of like a overcast day. I'm just waiting for that thing to come settling down again. Because the other day, oh boy, you couldn't travel too far without, it was like almost whiteout conditions for a while there. You know what? It's great. There's, if that's what you want to do and that's what I encourage because I'm not so much a gaming channel as I am one to uh, cultivate interest in numismatics and collecting in general because there are, as I've always said, if you collect coins, it's almost a certainty that you're probably collecting something else as well. Collectors typically collect more than one item. So uh, learning about numismatics online is a wonderful thing to do. I mean, we've got some extremely smart people in our community. Jason Cagle, he is probably one of the smartest guys I know that as far as uh, his knowledge of coinage. I mean, he's actually working with scouts down in Florida and teach, and he's responsible for the coin teaching in U.S. Scouting, and he is sharing that knowledge with everybody online. If you ever go to his channel, uh, please check it out. Anybody want to put his link in there, you're more than welcome. Uh, uh, just a fabulous resource. You go to Coining Around, even though they clown around and they're doing all these other things. Tupac and William know a lot, especially a lot about U.S. coinage. Talk to them too. Any of the ones. Gosh, trying to remember off the top of my head all the different resources that we've got. So many of them. Well, you know what? Once it crosses the border, it's yours. Tales from the Dark Side. Yeah, you know what? There's nothing wrong with lurking. I do my fair share of lurking too. I'll subscribe, click like, and maybe put one line saying hi, I'm here, but I'm just watching. Because we try to look at everybody's content. There are so many content creators. I find that I'll find a certain segment where it perks my interest, and I'll take a look at what they have. Coin collecting, yeah, of course. I try never to miss the Sunday gatherings with Mayor videos. I mean, that's awesome. You ever get the chance to see that? That's a lot of fun. But guys like the Hoover Boys, we don't have a lot. We don't have any of the Confederate or war North and South coins. I'm babbling on here. The stuff from the Civil War up here in Canada, but you take a look at the guys that are down in the States. Wow, some of the cool things that they find just blows my mind. We do have stuff up here, but it's mostly colonial stuff. There's even been some gold found. Yeah, put your link on there, Marlon. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. And the other thing too is if you go on the Sunday get-togethers, great chance to win some stickers. If there's another thing that you collect right away. I collect them too. Get yourself a sticker board, and all these content creators, almost every one of them have got a sticker of some sort, and it's a lot of fun to collect those as well. It reminds me of my days when I was a ham radio operator. We used to have QSL cards, so I make a contact in in Estonia or wherever it might be. They'll send me a QSL card and I put it up on the wall. Well, that's the same with these stickers with the content creators. It's fantastic. Yeah, Canadian silver is good silver. Oh, good for you, Mayor. Look good. That's awesome. The actually silver gold bull for us up here in Canada is actually a really good outfit to purchase your stackable silver and gold. I prefer to go to them than I would to say West Edmonton Coin and Stamp, even though I have bought a few things off them for stacking purposes. But I mean, as you know, stacking and numismatics, even though they're related, there's a big difference. I mean, it's stacking to me is putting silver and precious metals away for a rainy day, whereas numismatics and collecting, I have a theme in mind for me, and even though I collect British, Canadian, U.S. coins and one binder for world coins, I tend to segregate my numismatics from my stacking. I have it there, but again, it's two separate things. Numismatics is I don't collect this stuff for investment purposes. Even though I pop my clogs, there'll be a fair amount there for my wife to use. But what it's there for is for my enjoyment. I like doing displays. That's so typical, kin of mine. Yeah, that's it's all well and good until the anesthetics and stuff, painkillers all wear off, and they do. I hope they've given you some stuff to manage the pain, which I'm sure they have. Yeah, Marlon would know that. He's a nurse. You don't know what to put in it? A world coin book. How I do my world coins minus the US, British, and Canadian, because I have separate albums for them, is I just went into a coin shop and picked up a big album. Someone had returned it. I know why, because it doesn't the rings don't stick as well as they should. I'll wander over here. thing weighs a bloody ton. Okay. Anyway, I printed off a sheet, which is they actually have sheets on the internet. You have to search it out, but you can find a list of all the countries in the world with a little checkbox on for each country, alphabetical. So what I did is for my world coins, this cost me $7 at my coin shop, and let's see if I can open this without. There we go. Okay, just popped one of them out. And what I do with them is I put them in alphabetical order. I just pick up the sheets. Pick up the sheets for it. As you can see, they're 2x2s, typical, all different. And I put them in order. Alphabetical order. So and as I find a country, I'm not worried about the value of them. I just would like to have coins from every country in the planet on the planet if I can get it. And that's how I do my world coins. Just something simple. Weighs a bloody ton now. It's getting heavy. Oh, OxyContin. Yeah, I'm familiar with that for sure. Yeah. Full appendix. There we go. The old skipper's wandering around his coin room. I'll put the invite out there again if anybody wants to join me up here. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'll be receiving some new stickers here come the fall for the Christmas season, and hopefully those ones will turn out really nice. And be sharing those with everybody too. I'll send you a package of them there, Marlon, so that you can use them as giveaways as well. Our treasured home, what are you up to? Ooh, that's cutting it short. No, Christopher, I haven't seen Kyle's last video. I'll get to it after I'm finished the live stream here. Who knows? Maybe he'll be available to play some cribbage with me, or Dale will. Depends on if he's finished his birthday festivities or not. But yeah. Yeah, I can't believe the varieties of Queen Victoria coinage that they have, the different different variety. A good example, they have an obverse variety they call it an OT1. They have an OT2, an OT3, OT4, an OT5, an OT6, and then they have certain ones that have 21 leaves, the maple leaves in it. They have some with the reverse maple leaf design. They have some with the Victoria reverse variety RT1, RT2, RT3, RT4, RT5, right through to, I think it's RT7's the last one that they had. Yeah. It's crazy, the number of varieties that they have. The Lucky James Eller. Haven't seen you in quite a spell. Nice to see you on board. Oh, Kidamine, are you talking about the US $2 bills? I cannot get over how many problems folks have accepting those bloody bills down the States. My, oh my, oh my. Yeah, it's not so much the bank. It's when you go into to purchase them or purchase anything with them in the stores. Uh, Here in Canada, a lot of our bills have been had the legal status removed from them, so they're no longer legal tender. So you got to be careful. And also, there's talk. I'm still waiting to see them where they're talking about getting the $5 coins in. I have a lot of people in my community that are into the farming. I don't know if that's what you're talking. You're just talking about a game, but a lot of folks are doing their backyards, or they have to actually have small farms and whatnot where they're preparing. They're preppers basically, and I'm trying to get my mindset into that, but my wife and I kill artificial plants, so trying to learn how to plant stuff in my backyard. That's something I would really like to do, but I'm not sure exactly if I'm motivated enough. I'm such a procrastinator when it comes to stuff like that. Hmm. I have been looking into. They're actually, I think they're about 12 feet long and about 2 or 3 feet wide. They're corrugated iron, almost look like feeding troughs for cattle. Uh, but they're great for older folks where they can't bend. So it's raised gardens, I think they call them. I would really, really like to give that a shot. Again, though, it's the expense, and once you get started, of course, it's not so bad. But it's just a matter of getting the motivation and the finances together to do it. Also, I think this is the 1 year because of my roof. I I don't have a lot of the money to spend on my coin collecting that I used to, and that I have to admit I do miss because uh, I used to average at least $300 or $400 worth of new coins every month, and now it's putting money aside. I remember the year I walked across that with my brother. Yeah, it was probably one of the funniest things that I've ever done is walk across that bridge because uh, we had a friend of ours named John, and John was atypical. We're talking what 12, 13, 14 years old. We're just kids, and we if we weren't fishing, we were looking for adventures, and one of the adventures we had back then was going to Detroit. All we needed back then was, our school ID with our picture on it. Didn't need a passport or anything. And we walked across the Ambassador Bridge, which was really cool. Um, that's okay there, Dale. Like I said, just enjoy yourself. And if you make it back in time to get on here, I'll gladly throw you on beside me so that you have someone to chit chat with for me. But anyway, where was I talking about the story? Okay, so typical kids. We're constantly bantering and playing around and poking each other. So we were, I think, a little bit rougher breed back then because it was nothing for us to horseplay and it gets out of hand. Then we ask say sorry afterwards and carry on. But uh, John had a sense of humor, but it was it it wasn't it you had to be careful with him because he sought revenge on you. We had and back then you got to understand it was a different world. We had a homeless lady that used to be outside our house on Drouillard Road, and we called her Edna the Witch. And Edna used to go around and she would wander, and of course we lived almost next door to where she hung out. She'd go up to him and go, "Hello, Sonny, can I have a quarter, please?" And all this stuff. And I was the atypical one that always ended up feeding her money, and my brother would go, "You're an idiot. She's just gonna buy booze anyway. What are you doing that for?" Right? I said, "Well, because I felt sorry for her." I said, okay. So we're walking across the bridge, John, Mark, and myself. We walk across, and uh, John pretended that he was Edna the Witch to my brother, and he went, "Hey, can I have some money, please, Sonny?" And my brother looked at him, and he spit in his hand. Now we're in the middle of the bridge, Detroit Rivers. The bridge is kind of long, and he's like not impressed. So we're about midway across. John starts holding all his saliva in his cheeks. He's starting to look like a chipmunk. And we're just about to the other side of the bridge. And my brother turned around and looked at him, and John went like this, and it's all over. It's like slime. It looked like freaking Slimer from the Ghostbusters just nailed him. No place to clean, no bathrooms. By the time he found anywhere, he was starting to scale. Oh, that was gross. But as kids, it was for me. It was one of the funniest things I'd seen in age, especially since it was my brother that got it. But anyway, it gross. Yeah. But yeah, we used to spend a lot of time on the Detroit River. We used to spend a lot of time fishing. Oh my gosh. If we weren't fishing off the docks, we were in with my dad on the boats. And we spent a lot of time trolling Lake St. Clair, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. Uh, Stayed away from we even did Lake Huron, but we stayed away from like Georgian Bay was really nice. But Lake Superior, no. Lake Superior was too deep, too cold, and too unpredictable to go fishing in. A lot of ships like the Edmund Fitzgerald and all that stuff. No, you just did not want to go there. But it's gorgeous to look at. There's something evil about that lake. Yeah, it's biohazard, all right. But we did things like that. I guess I had probably one of the nicest collections of airplanes, model airplanes you could possibly imagine as a kid. I went crazy building them. Dale would be proud of me, all these planes I had. But I got bored with them, and I ended up tying strings on them and packing them full of firecrackers. And back then, of course, firecrackers, we all had them. It's amazing how most of us didn't end up with fingers missing. But blew them all. I even blew up an original Star Trek Enterprise model. I mean, talking the original. What was that for AMC? I think brought it out. And when I think what they would be worth in the box now, I just cringe. Like as a collector, it's just like, oh, what have I done? My goodness. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have done it. That was firecrackers was common as can be. Same with when we played. Of course, there's a lot of things. Now I'm going to digress here into our childhood activities. Uh, there's no helmets for the bikes. It's amazing we didn't fall out of the gene pool. Um, we play war games in the fields. We dig if it was an empty lot. There was a lot of empty lots. We dig trenches and even full bunkers. We would build, and a lot of the toy guns we had looked real. Yeah, yeah, we did that. And blowing up the Enterprise, a crime against Star Trek. I agree. Now I do. I wonder what William Shatner would say to me. Speaking of William Shatner, yeah, I actually did get to hang with him a while back before I grew my beard. Where are you, William? Hmm. Nope. I moved everything around. Now I can't find it. But yeah, myself and Bill, we actually went to one of the creation events and had our picture taken with William Shatner. It was kind of cool. Dale's heading home, Neil. Yeah, he's just finished his birthday party with a family, and he's going to try to get on with us before we end here. Oh, here's Papa G. I did things today that I've smacked myself for. I used to like playing pirate, and my dad and mom used to knew I did that. So I had a treasure chest, and I also had a couple of those old mason jars that I used for collecting, and I always asked for silver dollars. I had so many US and Canadian silver dollars, it was ridiculous. In fact, literally, I would say I had hundreds of these bloody things. And one day, and I'm talking, this is like real silver. And one day I decided, okay, I'm I don't feel like doing this anymore. This is when I just got into the model phase. I went out and I spent all those silver dollars on model planes. Ugh. Then I blew them up. Ugh. Why? It's a bit much. Yes, it's Dale's birthday, so everybody make sure they when he comes back to wish him a happy birthday. He's a young fella. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I blew them up. But it seemed to be a habit for my family. Like my dad, I can tell I came from his gene pool because we did stupid things. Surprising that he didn't sink a few boats while he was at it. But he did little things like instead of going down to the docks and buying, we always used fresh bait. So it was either minnows or night crawlers. So my dad had this crazy idea of using a cattle prod, shoving it into the ground, and the night crawlers, they all came up out of the ground all right, but you had to make sure that you shut the damn cattle prod off. He forgot, and he got fried. There's a man that knew how to shock himself. Um, he was also a big one on making home brew. He made homemade wines and homemade beers and all kinds of stuff. And then some cockamamie guy gave him the idea of making coconut liqueur. So he must have had a couple dozen proper coconuts that he drilled holes into, and then he took these bloody things. Again, I'd like to know. I think they pulled a fast one on him because how stupid can you be? He put yeast into the coconuts, plugged them up, and planted them in the backyard. Well, it wasn't long before you were witnessing a minefield going off in the backyard. It was the strangest thing ever. The neighbors were freaking out. Exactly. It's like peeing on a cattle electric fence. It's like what you stupid is. Oh man. So I was always surprised to see that I actually survived my dad, who would listen to anybody to try to do certain things. Well, come on, he was of the generation when he figured, well, okay, your son's got pneumonia, so the best thing to feed him is Vicks Vapor Rub. And what you do is you get yourself some honey and some water and a little lemon, and mix your Vicks Vapor Rub in there, and like get into a suspension and feed that to him. That'll help clear him out. I took that concoction. I spent a week in St. Joe's Hospital. Like, yeah, that worked real good, Dad. Oh, do not drink Vicks Vapor Rub. It is not good. My oh my, the things we do. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hmm. Yeah, no kidding. It was very similar to that. Oh my goodness. Polar bear?
Hello, everybody. It's Polar Bear here.
Hello. How are you, polar bear?
I'm doing wonderful today. I found 5 coins at Coinstar today.
Okay, that's a score. That's really good. I don't think people know how to use a Coinstar up here anymore.
That's a shame because they're so much fun to find money in.
Yeah. So what'd you get?
I got a dime and 4 pennies. Oh, cents. I mean cents.
That makes sense.
Yes, it does. But I wanted to show everybody some things I've gotten at my local jewelry shop that also sells used watches and used coins.
You have got the con.
Thank you very, very much. Now, this is from this weekend. It's a watch. It's a Bulova. It got diamonds in it. And I only spent $100 for it. It's beautiful. Sorry for the glare. But, yeah, Streamline kind of messes things up.
How does Polar Bear reach the Coinstar dispenser?
He wants conservative health just a little bit. Now, I think Newsmaniac will know what this is if I can get it in focus. Anyway, it's 1966 uncirculated Canadian coin set.
You got silver in there.
Yeah, and I paid $38 for it.
Score.
So, yeah, that's my first foreign uncirculated set.
Excellent. You're on your way to become totally obsessed just like us.
Absolutely. Now, here's what U.S. Conservative likes. Franklin halves. So we scored 3 this weekend. 1948, 1958, and a 1960.
They're all silver.
They all silver. Yeah, that's all the Franklin halves are silver. And that was the first coin U.S. Conservative bought, but 1963, because that was the year she was born. And these are probably all about MS-63, so they very, very nice.
Wow. Are you going to be putting them in an album now?
Yeah, we got to get one of those. We used to have a nice plastic display, but life happened to U.S. Conservative and she had to sell them. Not happy about that. But we're going to rebuild.
Excellent.
Now we got a 1921 Morgan silver dollar, and it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I just wish I could show it off better than this. But lots and lots of details.
Pretty.
Willie is. And we only paid $39 for it, which is $1 more than the Canadian silver, but this is much older. It's like 127 or 97 years old. Yeah, I can't tell dates very well.
It's okay. It's looking better than I would if I was that age.
Same as he was conservative. Also looked young at that age. Okay, now we got a really interesting story how Ewok conservative got 6 foreign coins and 1 American cent. So Ewok conservative was doing laundry at the laundry match and went outside to smoke. Yeah, I know, dirty, disgusting habit, but I can't do anything about her habits, just mine, which are yum, 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 yum. Lollipops. Okay. I'm going to take over this story from Polar Bear. So, yeah, I was at the laundromat doing laundry, went out to smoke, and I saw this guy on a bicycle that was just barely rideable. And he swings around, and I figured he's going to ask for a cigarette, which he does. And we get to talking. Actually, I give him a couple cigarettes because I'm really nice. And he starts handing me coins. And I said, did you find these in Coinstar? He said, no. This is from when I traveled as a youth. Well, the date on these coins, as you'll see in a minute, doesn't quite match up with his story because he's about my age and I'm 59, almost 60. And a lot of these coins are from the 90s. But so, yeah, anyway, he thought they were really, really valuable and that I'd be able to go on a vacation selling these coins. And they're just common foreign coins, but they're really cool. So we got a 1969 American Memorial Cent, nothing special there. We have a 1999 Canadian quarter, month of December. Yeah, we forget what. So yeah, that's my first memorial type Canadian coin. And then we've got a half dinar from Tunisia. And the reverse of that is just really cool. And I just wish I could show this better. And then we have a coin from 1972 Denmark. It's a 1 krone, Krone. And the leader on the obverse is Frederick the Ninth. And then from Japan, we have a 10 yen coin. And even though Starlock sent me a link on how to understand the dates on Japanese coins, it's still Greek to me. And then we have a coin from Singapore. It's 20 cents, 1991. And yeah. It's got a really cool bird-looking thing on the back. Yeah, I'm really thankful for Coinoscope for helping me figure out what these coins were. Yes, and this one is from Iran, and it's 2 rials. So those are the goodies Polar Bear wanted to show you.
Awesome. Great stuff.
Yeah, that dude was a little bit weird, but he had some nice coins to give me for a couple of cigarettes, so I was very pleased with that encounter.
Yeah, I guess so. Polar Bear, when is it most likely to rain money?
Is that a quick question?
No, it's when there's a change in the weather.
I should have known that one.
Well, there's, I'm telling you. Is it true in the U.S. Mint, the overworked workers want to go on strike because they want to make less money?
Yeah, they want bigger coins, not smaller coins.
Exactly. Check out Belt Loop 29. If you get a chance, Belt Loop 29 is one of the biggest advocates for promoting other people's channels. And he's quite a southern gentleman to talk to. Very polite, even though he tries to refrain from, especially when his buddy Devil Dog gets in there. I think he has great restraint. So you really should watch his videos and check out his live feeds. Live feeds are quite good. I watched your live feed, Gary, and I honestly fell asleep because of it. It was the best ASMR video I've watched in ages. Honestly, Polar Bear, you would have loved it because all it was gentle rain with a couple candles looking over out in this beautiful setting, and all you hear is the rain pattering on the roof, and you just lie back and you go, ah.
Oh, I love waiting on the roof. That really is the best sweeping weather ever.
Yeah, I know. He is challenging.
But I'll check out that channel anyway because he probably has leather belts.
Yeah, he's got a couple of them. He's got YouTube Police. That one's a little hard to find, but it's out there. And he also, of course, has his other channel, which is well worth watching. And that's Belt Loop 29. And I'm just wondering how knackered. I wonder how many of you even know what that means. How knackered Dale's going to be when he gets home.
He's probably going to be really tired because he has been feeling well lately, especially after that vaccination.
Yeah. He's he's had so many medical issues that he's had to overcome. And even though he's gone through all that, I would say he's been remarkably positive. I mean, it's not just dealing with pain, and pain can really wear you down, but it's dealing with a socialized medicine where it's hard to get a decent doctor and get good service. It's frustrating.
Yeah, Ebon's Conservative subscribes to a channel, and now I can't remember the name, but she's been on dialysis for like 21 years and is on the waiting list for a second transplant. Probably would have had it already, but COVID happened.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's one of the things that we all go through in life. We all have our different challenges, medical issues, especially as you're getting older. They just love popping up. Here we go. Here's another one for you. Let's have some fun. See if you get through this. Geez, I've had to deal with the big C 3 times so far. I've had to deal with hemochromatosis. Had to deal with a broken back twice. Just a million and one different little things that crop up that you get through it. I mean, it's just the better the medicines and better the support that you get, the quicker you get through it.
Yeah, dad died from cancer in 2010, 6 weeks after he was diagnosed. Esophageal cancer that spread to his liver, and by the time he started having symptoms, it was too late.
Yeah, that's what took my dad too. Same thing.
So yeah, you're a tough fighter. And actually, a lot of people I know that had cancer didn't die from the cancer itself, but from another infection, particularly bladder infections.
True enough. Yeah, true enough.
And I'm not sure why that is. Because that's actually what ultimately pushed my dad over the edge. I think he had about a 3% chance of surviving. Probably would have lasted another couple months if he hadn't gotten that infection.
It's amazing how aggressive some of these cancers are too. I mean, you hear stuff about like malignant melanoma. That is actually one of the most aggressive forms of cancer that you can get. But it's the number one rule with when it's dealing with cancer: early detection. The sooner you get on it, the chances are that you're going to be able to deal with it and get rid of it. It doesn't take much of a delay to make it too late, as your dad found out. My dad too, he didn't know, and he had symptoms, but he kept putting it off. He says, yeah, it's not feeling quite right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and my dad actually had an appendicitis attack about 8 years earlier, and they suspect he had the cancer then. But because he was in for an acute problem, that wasn't something they checked for.
That's good information. Marlon says bladder infection spreads to blood back through the kidneys and then to the brain, causing meningitis.
That's scary.
Yeah, Marlon is a nurse. Interesting. Yeah.
Can I ask Marlon a question?
Oh, why not? He's there.
Okay, Marlon. A couple hours after my dad died, while we were, because it took us that long to say, our final goodbyes after he passed, my sister knows his liver was still very hot. And I'm curious as to the reason. And of course, if you don't know, if you have time at some point to ask an oncology nurse and get back with me on another stream, that'd be wonderful too.
Okay, I didn't quite understand. Organs can keep metabolizing after brain death. I've heard that too.
Okay. That makes sense. I thought it was maybe related to the cancer. But I really appreciate that information.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Yeah, as he said, it was still trying to work. Interesting. Yeah, I was actually quite fortunate here because my next door neighbor, Dorothy, she's a nurse over at the Cross Cancer Institute, and she checked on me almost every day. Veteran Affairs actually put in a hospital room. You go into my lower or my upstairs room here. I'm on a 4-level split, but I have my own dedicated room because my wife, lucky hers, got the king size bed in the big room upstairs. But oh yeah, she got her a fireplace, television mounted on the wall. She's got everything. Mine, they brought in a hospital bed that actually is one of the lift beds that folds and lifts you up and all that stuff. Because I no longer have a top to my stomach, so I can't sleep lying down. So this bed raises me up, and I've got a TV set up. It looks like I'm in a hospital room, identical. And that's where my next door neighbor would come in and dealt with me when I went through all my surgeries and dealing with the bags. She's not even paid. She just went over and came over and helped. I'm like, what a wonderful neighbors.
Oh, yeah, definitely wonderful.
Oh, what's the last coin that I got? What's the last coin that I got? What was the last coin I got? Let me think on this now. Actually, I think the last coins that came in was from coining around. Yeah. This okay. I can show you the last coin that I got in here. Just switch over. Ding, ding, ding. See if this will work still. Ding, ding, ding. Look at how fast that worked. There's the last coin that I got.
Oh, I know what that is.
$50 make the holla.
That's a candy half.
Yeah, that's the last one that was sent to me. It was a 67. If I remember correctly, no, 67 would not be silver, would it? 65 for the U.S.
No, it's 40% silver.
Is this 40%?
Yes. Look at the edge. You won't see any copper.
Wait a minute. You're right. Oh, well, hello there. I got a
40%. You just got a second surprise.
Oh, that was and this is the other one that he sent me. He sent me this little thing here. Little quarter. And that is
That's definitely silver.
Silver. So
90%.
That's what I got off of coining around. Which, the last stuff that I got in, which is kind of cool. There. %40 until and including 1970. Oh. For some reason, I always, and I thought that was a real, like in Canada, we the cutoff was 67. So most 68s were not silver, and 67s and earlier were silver. But the U.S., I always thought it was 65 was the cutoff date. But apparently, you guys actually had 40% stuff.
Yeah, and that's actually what killed the half in circulation because people hoarded it for the silver. And before that, the $50 was the working coin of the U.S. And after we went clad, it became the quarter.
And it's funny up here. We no longer have 50-cent pieces in circulation. They're strictly collectible coins, and occasionally when I luck out and I go to the bank, and I've had that happen where I picked up 150 Canadian $50 at face value. Thank you. I love coming to banks when someone has done a collection dump. So
awesome.
So I filled my collection up with all these Canadian $50, and then it was before I started really getting into trading and selling the things. I had all these extras. So I said, well, I'm going to spend them. Well, holy mackerel. Do the supermarkets not like you coming in with 50-cent pieces? They're like, what are these? I've never seen one of these before. They actually had to bring the manager over to check it over. Like crazy.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And I understand
And
that
probably also because they don't have a little drawer for the halves.
that's true. Actually, in today's society, there's certain things that have come along that are really a situation for us. Cashiers do not like handling real money; they're used to plastic. So anytime I hand them paper or change, they have this panicked look on their face. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? So that was one thing that I've noticed that changed in my lifetime is dealing with cashiers and buying stuff. The other thing that has really changed is I left my granddaughter a note. I wanted her to pick up some stuff from the grocery store for me, so I left her some money and I handwritten a note for her. She calls me up and she goes, "Granddad, I can't read your note." "What do you mean you can't read my note?" She says, "I don't know cursive." Oh, for Pete's sake. Kids now cannot read cursive writing at all. It's like, what is going on? I mean, why did they stop it? Is it because of the computers? No one needs to do it because they don't write letters anymore. I still write letters. Not all the time, but especially at Christmas time, I send out a lot of stuff at Christmas.
Yeah, when I got to middle school, and this would have been 1976, our teachers basically said, "We don't care if you write in cursive or print." And since my cursive wasn't that good, I just printed, and I've been doing that ever since.
What's shocking though is, what about your signature?
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, like my wife, she never was big on doing a signature. It was just a squiggle. I was like, okay, what? Oh, they used to be able to use handwriting experts and be able to tell who's written certain things, and now, oh boy.
But yeah, when my nephew in the about 98, when he was going into school, they taught him a combination of print and cursive, with the idea that it would be easier to translate into cursive. But yeah, this has been going on for a little while.
And here I am. I want to learn calligraphy. What's that going to do?
Yeah, you can actually get like disposable calligraphy pens that are not very expensive if you want to start practicing.
Yeah, I love it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I know somebody who has horrible handwriting, but can do beautiful calligraphy because it's a totally different skill.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. I'm not sure what you mean by card tapping. Is that just when you tap the? I guess that is. It's when you tap the card. You don't need to enter a PIN. Welcome to the future of currency. Well, you know what? I am if they were to get rid of currency completely, which would be, in my mind, dreadful, I would still collect silver. I would still try to get as much silver as I can, because if, heaven forbid, if anything happened with the our internet and with our electronic means, how are you going to barter? It's nice to have something held back just in case. That's just, like I say, it's emergency thing. But it's getting so bad now with the scammers. And I had a scammer hit me this week. They came on. It came on as God. Oh, came on as Canada Post. Everything was perfect. It looked absolutely like a legit message. I clicked on it. The page came up. It looked like Canada Post. They were having an issue. I know I was expecting. That's how I got caught with this thing. I'm expecting some things in, and they were saying, "Oh, we had a problem that it was diverted, and you need to pay." I think it was $1.50 or something for redirection. So I gave them my bank card information and whatnot, and then all of a sudden it went blank on me. All of a sudden, I said, "What the heck had just happened there?" I went back and checked the site, tried to follow the link back, and it no longer existed. I realized, oh my goodness, I've been scammed. So, because it's not a credit card, it's a debit, I had to go all the way to the bank. I had to cancel I phoned them up at first and canceled, put a stop on everything. Run to the bank, sit through signing forms, getting new cards, new PIN numbers, and realizing that all the connecting services that I use my debit card, which are auto withdrawals, I have to change every single one of them because these idiots have come up with a way to scam, especially seniors. We get sucked in so easy on these things. Just couldn't believe it. And they're becoming very sophisticated. Yeah, porch piracy is bad too. We've had problems. I think every single neighborhood's had it.
Yeah, I actually had to get a private P.O. box because of porch pirates where I live.
Oh, that's awful.
And the bad thing is, I think it's one of the other people that live in the building.
Wow. I got video, I got video surveillance in the front of my house. I've got steel doors, double locks, a big dog, all kinds of stuff. But when it comes to, they drop the stuff on the porch, all I'll get is a picture of the person running up, grabbing it, and gone. It doesn't do a damn thing about because of the reaction time and getting police out. The guy's long gone. I mean, we had them stop by in our neighborhood, and they're cutting off catalytic converters. Neighbors across the street heard them doing the cutting. By the time from the time they heard the cut to the time they run downstairs, they were gone. That fast. And of course, I cannot set I do have the front camera, but I don't put it on the street itself because my camera would be going off every single time a car went by. So it's just for my neighborhood. So I unfortunately couldn't help them.
Yeah, some people have lock boxes for dropping off packages, but I think there has to be a code, and yeah. I actually used to have things delivered to work. But of course, if you're retired, you don't have that option unless your kids live nearby and you can have it sent to their work.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wish we had a post office box that had the mailboxes. I would definitely get one. I'd love to have one for larger quantities of mail. But we have super boxes here now. And so it's great for Canada Post. It gets secured. It's pretty good. But if it's any courier, any UPS or FedEx or whatever, if they drop stuff off at the door, it's the chances are it's not going to be there.
Do you have the UPS store in Canada?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
That's where I have my private mailbox through.
Oh,
and they hold packages. Yeah. You can have the tiniest little mailbox they have there, and they will hold your packages until you come in and get it, and they will send you an email when you get a package.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. Marty's nuts about digging.
Hi, Marty.
He's got some really good stickers now. There's good old Neil collects. Look at that. Just
hi, Neil. Hi, Christopher.
So, did you get any rain today, Polar Bear?
No, we haven't had rain in 4 or 5 days, and we're supposed to not have any rain through the end of the week. But we'll probably have rain on race day because we always have rain on race day.
Well, we had a good downpour here, but it's selective. Unfortunately, they're not getting it where it really is needed, and all the smoke has gone to the upper atmosphere. So we had a nice downpour, but you look up and it's still can't see the sky for the smoke. It's kind of a weird feeling. And doesn't feel, you know how normally it feels refreshing after a nice rainstorm? It doesn't have that feel. You can still actually taste the smoke in the air.
Oh, I can taste it. I've been through a house fire, and yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I'll be glad when I can get out and do something. Oh. And then, of course, we've got our elections coming up next week. And the old skipper is actually working the election the whole day. You know, you get retired and you look for jobs to do. Yeah, we'll hire you for one day. They put you on a training course, pile you up with all kinds of stuff to learn for a 10-hour shift. Yeah, okay. Woohoo!
Yeah, I was actually an precinct inspector for 5 elections around the time Obama was elected the first time. We had a couple extra elections because our congresswoman died. And yeah, it's a really cool experience. Everybody should do it at least once.
Yeah, I think they actually should. It is a good experience. I know I'll be out there and doing my thing for, like I say, 10 hours. That's it. And I don't have anything else to do other than get my fitting done for my new suit. I did get hired on by Hire a Santa this year, so I'll be working one of the malls in Northwest Edmonton as well as West Edmonton Mall, which gives me more hours, and they are buying me my suit. The suit is made down in Texas, and it's costs between anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000 US for the suit. And they're tailoring it for me, which is very cool. So I don't have to worry about that. So I don't make as much money hourly with these guys, but it's going to be nice to actually have a job for a couple months.
Yeah, and them paying for the suit is a huge part of your pay.
Huge part. I'm saying, okay, that's good. You've got me. That's fine because mine's I got mine in 2013, so it's 10 years old. It's starting to look a little bit thin, threadbare. I don't understand what the package. I got to go back to the package. I sent a package from Ontario to Vancouver, BC. And it cost me around $26. The same package of equal weight to Michigan only costs around $19 roughly. I've noticed something similar to that too. Shipping in Canada, for some reason, seems to be more expensive within our borders, but shipping down to the States, depending on the size of it, it seems to be cheaper for me. Like I send stuff down to the States all the time. If it's under an ounce, I don't even use a custom declaration. If it's a coin, it's a token. So I send it down and they get it okay. If it's bigger than that, of course, you use the customs declaration, but the cost from Canada is cheaper than it is the other way around. I hear the stuff that they charge the US to go to Canada is ridiculous. Like, holy mackerel, you guys are getting soaked.
Actually, for first class international mail. The United States Post Office has a special international stamp. It's about $1.70, $1.80. Basically, the thickness of a silver dollar is the limit on the depth.
Yeah.
But that's a really cheap way to send some coins using those international first class stamps.
Yeah. The most expensive one I've had to send out so far was to Dale at Coin World UK. They gave me an option. It was either $75 by container ship or $150 by airmail. And I said, I'm not spending $150 on this to send it there. So I said, yeah, we'll send it container ship. Container ship. As it crossed the Pacific, hit every bloody island, the Suez Canal. It took months. It took months to get there. I think it was almost 2.5 months before he got his parcel. And it looked pretty beat up by the time he got there. But thank goodness there was nothing that could be damaged. But wow. So for an extra $75, it could have been there in a week. Sorry, I cheaped out.
Actually, that would be a good lesson for a class to watch a package go by container ship so they can learn about all the geography.
Oh, set a GPS device on the package so you can follow it. That would be
cool.
That'd
be even cooler. Yeah, cool, Marty. Good idea.
That's exactly what I do. I put mine in a thank you card. They're small. Actually, I got a pile of them sitting right here. And just slap a coin in there with it. Maybe I like throwing in my sticker with it, and of course Marlon's gotta hit the store for noodles. Be right back. Noodles. He's either getting itchy ban or he's getting some decent noodles.
I bought my noodles on the way home.
My noodles are right here. I know how to use my noodles. Yeah. So I experimented last week, and I made my wife a feed of falafel, and I make it the same way that I had it in the Middle East when I was in the Golan Heights. So typically, I love this stuff. It's like the Big Mac of the Middle East, and so I made this all up. It looked really good, and she just walked by it and goes, "Oh, no." Too many foreign substances on those things.
You need to post the recipe.
Oh,
perhaps on your dining channel.
It's on there.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's on there. Great Scott.
Hi, Great.
So what's new in your world, Great Scott? You got anything interesting you want to share with us? Anybody at all? I could share all until I'm blue in the face, but the old skipper doesn't want to bore you to death. Let's see some new stuff. Cartoons and collecting. I have been really keen on watching some old cartoons lately, and I actually gotten into a cartoon I used to watch as a kid, and boy, am I going to date myself here. Crusader Rabbit. I believe you can watch it on YouTube, but watch Crusader Rabbit. It is actually considered the first actual cartoon series that was on television.
Never heard of it.
So it's circa
Sounds cool.
Like 1951. It's Crusader Rabbit.
I gotta find a pen to write this down.
I mean, I've heard all kinds of stuff like Howdy Doody and all this stuff, right? You know, oh gosh, what other ones? Some Mickey Mouse Club, Captain Kangaroo, all those sort of. But Crusader Rabbit was the first. No, Steamboat Willie was from on the theaters. We're talking the very first cartoon on television, a series. Much like Popeye when it first came out, or any of the earlier cartoons. Yeah, Mighty Mouse was. Remember that too. Wasn't my favorite. Yeah, I've got a few. Actually, I even have a few of the comic books. Not from there. More.
Had to write Crusader Rabbit.
Crusader.
Paper towels, because that's the nearest thing I could grab to write that down. But I'm going to definitely look this up on YouTube.
Good. It's fun watching that one. I'm glad to hear that you had a good one. I'm going to have to catch your 750. Gosh, I don't even know what I'm at now. I'm over 700, I think, somewhere around there. Not bothered. I hit 1,000. It's watch hours that I'm really down on. They reset mine here a few months back. I got to go to 0 again. Yay! I love it when they do that.
Not.
Yeah, no. This is, I just got some state quarters from the States. Mama's gone detecting, claimed customs and paid $16 to ship. Lauren put her quarters in a thank you card and paid $2 to ship. Cool.
Nice.
In Canada, we had the Raccoons. It was a Canadian animation cartoon. Raccoons? I don't remember raccoons. Raccoons. What things? I was in Windsor, Ontario, so I got most of the U.S. channels. I did get the Forest Rangers. That's not a cartoon. We got again. Howdy Doody. We got the Mickey Mouse Club, a Crusader Rabbit, Popeye, a lot of the. Oh, of course, there was Bugs Bunny and his gang and all that stuff. And then, of course, when we started to drift away from the cartoons as we got older, we got into all the westerns were huge in the 50s. My gosh. You know, I used to get my brother and I were dressed up like Paladin. We were, have gun will travel and all that stuff. We looked like little cowboys, complete with the cowboy boots, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I remember in the 70s when Gunsmoke was still big. The Sears and Penny's catalogs would have Western costumes for kids.
Yeah. We even had Davy Crockett. We used to watch Davy Crockett all the time. We had the coonskin hats. We had oh my goodness, the Rifleman was a big favorite. Used to watch it. So it was tons. Westerns were absolutely insane. The Lone Ranger, huge.
Oh yeah. Fun fact about Davy Crockett, though. His hat was probably cat skin, not, the other thing. And this came from somebody I knew who was an 1830s historical reenactor.
Right.
Hi, Taffy Collins.
There's good old Kyle. Hey.
Hey, Kyle.
Bonanza was a little later, though. I used to like Bonanza quite a bit. And then, of course, I followed Lauren Green into Battlestar Galactica, the original one. That was awesome.
Yeah, Lauren Green was a great actor, and so was Adam. Yeah. And I can't remember who played Adam.
Oh. Gosh, what was his name?
Pierce. Pierce something.
Okay, that's going to bug me now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Come on up and join us, Taffy. Here's the link right there. We need a little bit of that Welsh accent in here to spice things up.
Yeah, come on up, Taffy.
Hold on, I gotta brush my hair. I'm lying here drinking my tea. A little bird tells me that you bought a monster box. What did you do? Mortgage your family? Holy mackerel. A monster box. In the UK, what does a monster box look like in the UK? I mean, they don't even normally have tubes. They have bags. Parnell Roberts played Adam. That's it. Thank you. All right. Where did Polar Bear go? Yeah, I'll watch the video. My goodness. Right now, just clowning around. We're just clowning around now. Gosh, welcome to Disneyland. My name's Goofy. What's your name? Oh, good gracious. Two minutes. Okay, Taffy Coin's going to join us in the live feed in 2 minutes on the panel. Awesome. Now that I'm curious to see. You know, when I was a youngster, I knew so many people that had parrots, and everybody seemed to have parakeets. Everybody. I mean, it was just like, I couldn't go. Even my mother had one. Not a parrot, but a parakeet. But I don't see them as often anymore. Mind you, up here in northern part of Canada, I guess you would need to have a parakeet or a parrot that had a fur coat. I don't know. So while I am waiting for our friend, I do have a few things I can share while I'm waiting. Got some unique items. go. There we go. Here's an interesting little ditty here. This is actually not a coin. There's no monetary value to this one. But it's definitely a commemorative token. Yeah, so we got Churchill here. Good old Churchill. Yeah, I'll check that parrot video out too a little later. Yeah, you just stay away from drinking that Vicks vape. That is not cool. And we've got an empty seat. Look at that. Hello, Taffy Coins, Mr. Empty Seat.
Hello.
Hello, how are ya?
I'm good. Oh, flipping Nora. Oh, I've just been out tonight with one of my friends, so that's why I'm late for the party.
Well, happy Victoria Day.
Oh, happy Monster Box.
You actually bought a monster box. Okay. Wow. Now the question is it just the box or is it got the real stuff in it?
Of course, it's just the bloody box. What do you take me for?
I thought so. Yes. I go because how the hell? What? Cost you a fortune.
I basically I buy a lot of stuff from it's a coin and stamp company called Philatelic Heritage, and they have their own Facebook page where they do their own auctions every day. So when they do them, it's like they finish at like 3:00 each afternoon, like my time. And they had a monster box on there. The last one sold for like just £10, but I just bought it for £20 because I wanted one because of the sticker, because it says Queen Elizabeth on there,
right?
And Britannia's 2023 because they didn't. Basically, they didn't produce too many, so I thought I'd buy them because the stickers are quite unique because they're the ones that would have been produced before the Queen passed away.
Yeah,
So
that box was for what, 500 Britannias?
Yeah, it holds 500 Britannias.
There you go. 500 Britannias. And
Yep.
how much is one Britannia worth now?
It's something like if you bought them direct from the Royal Mint, because we have VAT charged on top.
Right.
It's something like about £32 per Britannia.
Okay, so we're talking. Okay, I'll let you calculate it. £32 per Britannia times 500.
Yeah, it's a lot. So like, but when I bought the box, all the stuff I purchased from them was inside anyway. So it was just handy that I bought the box. So like I bought that, which is a £20 coin. It's the Christmas one. If you can see that. Just got the nativity on there. And if anyone's interested, that's the details as well for Philatelic Heritage. I'm trying to find their website. That's the shop's telephone number, and they did have it on there. Yeah, there is. That's the web address: philatelicheritage.co.uk. So, and I buy quite a bit of stuff from there because they do get quite good stuff, and it's the company that I bought the Merctine from as well, which is just always good. So I got like Chinese coins and stuff from them. So if anyone's interested in watching me unbox the monster box with everything that I bought, the video actually is on my channel, which got uploaded today, in fact, as well. So it's like you can see everything that just came in this bad boy. So it's like the title of the video is I bought a monster box. It's slightly misleading, but not at the same time, because when people say they bought a monster box, they think, oh, a monster box of silver. But I'm not that rich. And I recently bought this wonderful book as well, called the Banknote Yearbook. So it's from Spink Auction House. So they produce really good books. I don't know if they produce like this book each year, or if it's just like every few years or so. But certainly with the coins they do. And it's got England, Ireland, Scotland, Channel Islands, and Isle of Man. So, but when they say England, they mean UK banknotes, because Wales, under old draconian stuff, Wales used to be classed as England, even though we're technically our own country. But there's like pictures of like the old 5, 10, and like £20 notes. Like, so banknotes in the UK used to be really plain. They used to be all white. And like the most famous ones are like the big white £5 notes. And some of like the old white £5 notes are worth. I'm trying to have a look now. There's like some of these on here. Like there's one for dependent on the condition, is like £20,000. There's like a white £1 note,
Right.
which is worth about 8,000. But like even like the early George ones then, which would have been like from 1914, like even just like a 10 shilling note, if it's in like rubbish condition, so like about a VF condition, or when you're grading notes, they're still worth like £400, sort of thing, and they go all the way up then to the modern polymer notes as well. But I got recommended that book from another coin tuber called Caledonian Coins.
Right.
As well, so he's a good one to check out as well. He has mainly modern stuff, but he collects Scottish banknotes. So it's like, and some of the old Scottish banknotes are quite funky. But I don't know why I've suddenly just got into like more and more banknotes at the moment. I know it's a bit of a niche collection, but like I know they kind of like go hand in hand. But this is one of my favorite purchases at the moment.
Oh, that is, the artwork knocks my socks off. I absolutely
See, that's
love.
Britannia then.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like this book is really handy just for references. I'll try and find out like the years of it now. That's from about 1950, between 1957 and 1963. They produced those ones. Then you got like your bog standard £1 note then, which like everyone and their dog basically has one of them.
Don't forget to put your links in the chat there, guys.
And then you got like the ones from the 40s. That's an old 10 shilling note. And that's an emergency war issue one, which is purple. And then they've both just got the same back then to them.
Wow.
As well. So it's just like you got the green ones just in them ones down just with the different signatures on, like there's O'Brien. There's a Bean. Or a Beale. There's a Papayette, Scatterbard. And then just as you move through them, you just get like them sort of £1 notes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after them ones, then it's the one that I first showed you. Well, then you got like, I got on another page for you. That one, but then there's a more modern 10 shilling note as well. So, but I've mainly got them ones at the minute. So now I've got most of them now. I can move on to the £5 notes, which is the next step up. But like I'm not gonna get a white fiver. If I do, I'm probably going to get like just one and not like chase the different signatures and stuff, because that's where the big money is, just in the individual signatures.
Right.
So I might just get one like cheap one. And then start from there then. So like some of the ones like from the late 70s and 80s and stuff, I like the designs of. Even just like with some of the £5 notes on eBay, they went like £20 each just for them, and it's not sustainable just for a basic £5 note that's just in circulation. So I'll just go for like some of the cheaper ones if I find some of the like more desirable serial numbers and stuff. So like in the UK, we haven't had like lots of different designs like America had, just with like the Confederacy, where they had different notes and stuff like that, and then when they progressed them, like the Black Eagles and everything like that. So we've been just like pretty like standard for everything, but like that's the current notes.
Christopher wants to know if you've got any Vietnam Dong banknotes yet.
No, I don't. I don't have much. Oh, I'll show you my folder in a second of just like my world ones. Like even if you like with Scotland, then like some of the old Scottish banknotes, there's more variety in the Scottish banknotes. Like that one's from the 50s. I think that one then is from, normally with the Scottish ones, they dated as well. Right, I got them to the wrong way around. So the bottom two, the one's 68, and then the bottom one's 69. So like those ones are then probably, like, you could probably say more exotic.
Mhm.
For some reason in the UK, we're just quite plain. Like our coinage was just plain for like years. Like when the designs didn't change very often. And it's only sort of like a recent thing. Like if you think of like commemorative coinage in the UK, they issued like the first like sort of like commemorative circulated coin off the top of my head, which was the 1973 50 pence. And then they didn't do another one then until 1992. And then after that, then I think it was 1998 when they started doing like individual commemorative ones then. Yeah, I agree, Christopher Taylor. I've seen some of the the counterfeit 20s. It's like the hologram is a bit dodgy on some of them. Yep, also in the windows on the bottom right hand corner window, where it's normally sort of like engraved 20s on the note. Normally on the counterfeits, that isn't there. But I've seen only one of the counterfeits, and they are fairly convincing. The color is only very, very slightly off. Normally with counterfeit notes, you can tell that they are printed.
And here I thought making polymer notes would cut down on the counterfeiting.
Well, it's supposed to, but with lots of the polymer notes, they can't get certain elements right with some of them. So, like for example, with the little see-through windows that I showed on the £5 note, sometimes the Queen's head is missing within the see-through window, or the Queen's head is quite faded, or the holograms are missing, and stuff like that. So it's like,
No, he's not here yet, Marlon.
It's really difficult just to find like just the things that are wrong with them, unless you like properly look. It's like with the old £20 notes, it was easy to spot the fakes because they used to have just a small hologram towards the middle left of the note, which it's obvious then. There's because on some of the fakes, I think that used to peel off, or it was always printed, so it would never have the hologram on there.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
So you can see some of the difference, just like with I saw the general UK ones, and then compare that then to the Scottish ones, and you can see what I mean then, that there's more effort put into them.
EAC, I believe some of the notes actually have Braille on them.
Yeah, in the UK we have Braille on the notes. There's just little indentations on them. It's I got a couple of £10 notes and £20 notes as well. In Scotland, I don't have any £50 notes. I wanna find some of the £50 notes, but then obviously that's gonna get way expensive. If you think about it, a £50 note for you is probably about equivalent to having $90. $90 or $95, something like that.
Oh no, Canadian money's worth way more than British.
Well,
I mean, one British pound is worth 100 Canadian.
and that's just the really bad exchange rate that you get.
Not on my side.
Yeah, but wait until you come over to the UK. Then you'll feel the pain.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to get my brother-in-law to start sending me over 50 pence coins since he owes me like about $4,000. Oh yeah. So I'm hoping that he'll start sending me some of the money back. I'll take British money. Yeah, go ahead. That way, when you go over there, I'll have some spends.
It's like with the American, I've got lots of like the generic stuff. Just like the silver certificate. I've got like the brown seal. Oh, Hawaii. I've got like a red seal 2, standard 2. Well, a few of the 2s, but I'm just trying to like have different signatures as well. Mm-hmm. It's like the $5. I've only got a silver certificate 5, a red seal 5, and then just a modern 5. Like there's a lot of gaps within like my American like currency. My Canadian is the same. I've got 2 $1 bills and then 2 $5 bills, and that's it for Canadian.
Oh dear. Okay, you're gonna have to do something about that. Cartoons and collecting. You perked my interest. I guess I'm living under a rock because I have no idea what you're talking about. $20 million gold heist in Toronto International Airport. Can you tell me about it a little bit? Because I haven't heard about that.
If I know some of your notes are quite colourful, the Australian banknotes. $1 and apparently she's going to be removed soon. So I don't even think that they're going to have King Charles on there.
Hi, Mary, quite contrary. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, but with like just like countries in general, I've got 3 Irish notes. A £1 and like £5. The Irish notes are quite expensive though. Like you've got the Channel Islands as well for the UK. I've got a set of Ukrainian banknotes that I bought last year around about the time where the war started. Because I thought if Ukraine gets blown out of the water, at least I've still got some of their currency in my collection. If you're looking at banknotes, Hong Kong do extremely colourful banknotes.
That is.
And then that's the back then. But then if you compare it then to one of the old banknotes, then from Hong Kong, I'll try and get it out. That's one of the old $10 notes then. And that's a HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation banknote as well. And that's from 1983.
That's what that stands for. HSBC?
Yeah, Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation.
I never knew that.
It's a British bank, but HSBC has been going for around about nearly 160 years. Somewhere around about then. So it's a British bank with Eastern roots. So even though I think the first bank was opened in, I'm not sure if it's Hong Kong or Shanghai, it's somewhere over there. But I'm trying to remember what his name was. Was it John Scotland or something like that? I think the founder of HSBC is Scottish. I didn't know at one point, but it's just like information that has never been used, so it's like been easily forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like Russian notes, I got 100 rubles, and these ones are from, I think it's I'm not sure if it's the World Cup or something like that in football.
Actually, they're quite nice looking.
And I've got ones then from the Sochi Winter Olympics. Like them ones are polymer, but then these ones aren't. So I don't know why would some be polymer and then unless these are just commemorative ones. So, but they are just like a different material on them, but they've got like holographic. I've got Sri Lankan, I think. I've got Solomon Islands. Note, don't ask me where the Solomon Islands is, because I absolutely have no clue at all.
Take care, easy. Have a good night.
Nicaraguan notes. I've got good old faithful like gold backs, which I think everyone and their dog actually has.
I don't have any now. I sold all mine to Jason.
I've got that writing seems really weird. I'm not on this one. These ones I've got ones from the Maldives. Which has just got like an oversized drum on the back.
Mm-hmm.
1 shekel.
Israeli?
Yeah. 2,000 lei. That's from Romania. I've only got 1 New Zealand banknote, which is a $5. I had to buy it online. It's in awful shape. And I only bought it because it's got penguins on.
Mm-hmm.
Vanuatu. I've got Chinese notes from the Winter Olympics that they held recently.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember where that was. That was from it. I bought it just because it's got a peacock on there. Basically, and it looks quite nice. It's one of the, I think it's one of the Iron Curtain countries. So like the peacock on there is quite beautiful as well. I've got a 75,000 rupiah note from Indonesia. There was a special edition note that was produced over there commemorating something. I used like I don't know what it's for now, but I saw like videos on there, and it looked quite nice. At one point, it was like £30 to £50 just for the one.
I lost my life.
Oh. Egypt, I've got a basic €5 note. I think that's Libya. I think Indonesia. I can't remember where it's from, but some sort of like small little territory in Russia. I got a German. I got Nigerian as well. Just like picking them up off eBay and stuff like that. I just pick up little bits just to add a bit of colour to my collection as well. Because as much as I love coins and collecting them, banknotes is a whole different ball game. Just with the styles and designs that you get on them.
Right.
And one of the other new items I've had, I bought it begrudgingly because I don't really collect any English items just because I'm Welsh. And it's like it's not like my home nation. So, but in the Royal Mint, when you visit the shop, there are like different exclusives that they have there. And normally they produce a coin. This year they're producing 4, and they're all having designs on them from the old £1 coins before they changed them over from the round ones, and they've just released the England one. It's just got the 3 lions on there. So the Welsh one's got the Welsh dragon, and the Irish one is sort of, I think it's like a Celtic cross. The Scottish one, I'm not sure when that's due up though. As well as, but yeah, that's basically about it. I've just like picked up on little bits of generic silver, which is just like common stuff. Nothing like overly spectacular.
Right.
As well, so just something just to keep me ticking over. Has Dale been on tonight as well?
No. I'm just about ready to call her quits for the night. I don't know what the heck. I guess he had too much fun with his birthday.
That's fair enough.
You know,
I'll probably shoot off now. I'm gonna do some bits and bobs, and then the Coin Show podcast is on in about an hour.
Oh, you know what? I've been meaning to check that out, but I'll see if I can hurry up and get Tracy her dinner here.
Yeah.
That's
well. Let me know if you do manage to make it, and then I can jump on Discord at the same time, and then we can watch it together if you want.
that would be excellent. Yeah.
I can't put a link in there. If anyone wants to search up the Coin Show podcast as well, I've followed the guys for quite a bit of time, and they are really down to earth. They've got one of the oldest coin shows, coin channels on YouTube as well. They've been going for more than 10 years as well. So like Silver Picker's been going for more than 10 years. But these guys have been going for quite a while as well, almost as long. And they just keep it ticking over. They normally do about one podcast about every 2 weeks or so. Just depends upon like their schedules. But they've done well over 200 episodes now. And so there's lots of like bits and bobs on there as well. So they normally cover news. I think tonight they've got. I actually forgot to post something there as well. Something called Your Coolest Thing. And if you've got any cool coins, like, or you might have a story behind there, if you follow them on Facebook and have a look up Friends of the Coin Show podcast, there's lots of stuff on there for everyone just to look through and as well.
Yeah, I'll be checking it out. So in the meantime and in between time, everybody, I am signing off. I'm docking the ship here and I'm going to make my better half some nice nosh here. Hopefully she'll enjoy it. Otherwise, I'll get it thrown at me. And
She wouldn't.
oh, yeah, she's British. She will. But I want to thank everybody for stopping by with the collector's corners here, and we again wish Dale a happy birthday. It's I'm glad that he managed to get through to another one, and thank you to everybody: Christopher Ty and Cartoons Collecting, Blister Magnets, Mayor Videos was here, of course. My good buddy Taffy Coins, Kyle was sitting here with me, and EAC was here, and Stu's metal detecting, and Mary Burney was here. Oh my goodness, I feel like I should be on Romper Room with Romper Stomper Tomper Do. Tell me true. Look at all those wonderful people out there, and I see you. Thank you for coming by. Hopefully Dale will have his channel going here later on this week, and I'll be back on Monday, a week from today, with my due, and look for my regular YouTube videos on any of my channels. And if you like fun dining, try Fun Dining in Alberta. We're doing that thing too. So take care and keep hunting. Enjoy your metal detecting and coin roll hunting and all the rest of that stuff. And Taffy and I are out of here.